Well, it was the same at the election, wasn't it? The second most important thing on people's minds, but didn't seem to figure in the voting whatsoever.
No, and when they're given an opportunity to care, with the little boy on the floor in Leeds, suddenly the tanks are on the lawn and it's all lies and delusion and people are attacking the mother and it's quite bizarre. But this is a fact. We are now looking at the worst ever level of A&E delays that we've ever seen, and you're here to talk to me about that.
Well, this is a steady progression. This isn't a sudden occurrence. This is a steady progression of a service which has always run on narrow cost margins.
Yes.
And watching, steadily underfunding, as you said, 1.4% was the average. In fact, for a few years, it was less than 1% under Cameron, the increase in funding. And as a result, in 2019, I've just done some current statistics. We've lost a quarter of the GP full-time equivalent workforce since 2012. So in 7 years, we are 10,218 GP full-time equivalents down as a real terms comparison.
You're a GP, I think.
I'm a GP. I've been a doctor for 30 years, yeah.
Blimey.
So, accounting for population increase, etc. So doctors per head, and, there's the BMJ just published a kind of state of the nation comparison with other health services. And, we have the lowest funding per capita in comparable countries, the lowest beds per capita, and nearly the lowest doctors, and way below the average nurses per capita for all comparable countries. And so you've got queues in corridors. In the last month, what's really startling now, we've just had winter in summer, one of the worst winters we've had through the summer period, and now we're entering a period which is really, truly unprecedented. In the last month...
Seriously, unprecedented is a big word. I wouldn't expect a doctor to use it casually.
No. There have been, as they say, steady worst performances each winter, but this is unprecedented in the sense of, in the last month, number of people waiting on trolleys from the decision to admit to admission for more than 12 hours has increased by over 100% in 1 month. It's gone up from about 1,000 to over 2,000, and a year ago it was 284.
What's going to happen next, Nick? And don't frighten
we are going
listeners.
to lay out the dead in the streets. I think
late.
Is what's going to happen next. It's dramatic, of course, but what does it take for people to wake up and do something? This is being normalised, James.
Well, that's what my question was designed to address, that suggestion that the problem becomes part of the furniture is a process of normalisation. So suddenly, that's what the NHS is now. Look, here's a thing from Aberdeenshire, from someone called Don. You're somewhat illustrating the problem facing the NHS by your attitude. This issue that we all expect instant medical attention immediately. Does little Timmy really need an ointment for his rash immediately? It's not exactly life-threatening. Well, A, it might be meningitis, and B, a broken leg isn't exactly life-threatening, but you wouldn't expect a 2-week wait to get that seen to. Attitudes like that will see the NHS turned into a shell of what it was originally envisioned to be.
People will absorb misdirection and propaganda, and that's what's been happening.
And every time a problem is highlighted, there's somebody there to tell them it's all the fault of foreigners and time wasters.